call me a 3D rank it the way you know what I'm spanking. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, and only today, we are here, that's right, to officially rank the mainline 3D Sonic games. I have spent the last half a year revisiting every mainline 3D Sonic game and how I feel. And I put the ranking here sort of Sonic game style. You know, we've got S for peak, we've got A for fire, B rank for good, C for I, D for meh, F for trash, and I'm going to put them in an order. I had a lot of time to reflect, and I feel like I feel very differently about these games in a lot of ways, for better or sometimes for worse. Right? I'm really excited. We played all of these games. We played them, I feel like, extensively too. Some of them we got every level in. Some of them we did all the DLC. Some of them we just kind of beat. Let's do this. So, Sonic Adventure is our first one. Looking back at Sonic Adventure, it was the one that I was like, okay, I'm going to like this because I really like Sonic Adventure 1. But playing it again, I ended up falling in love with it a lot more. I think the character themes are super dope. I love having all the different campaigns. And I love how each of them, I don't think any of them overextend their time. Sonic's being the longest makes a lot of sense. The interconnected stories and stuff is really cute and charming. Art style of it is really good. And you know, the Biggs campaign shocked me, because when Chad explained how I'm supposed to do it, and really you just have to like flick it and slowly like grab a little, let it go, grab a little, let it go, and I got that. Big's campaign took like 20 minutes. And so I ended up really appreciating now that I knew how to do that. I like Tails' campaign. It's a very cute story about him, you know, wanting to do things on his own. I like that he's just speedrun levels of Sonic's levels. I love playing Sonic's levels to the point where even recently I went back, just played Sonic levels, and I really love them. You know, Red Mountain is dope. I love Twinkle Park. It's super fun. Ice Cap, the Ice Cap version there is really fucking sick. First beach levels. I love so much of adventure. Knuckles levels are so fun to me because you can find things in any order, so everything works. Amy's campaign is good. Like, it did such a good job of allowing you to play as the game individually, get some of their character traits, and nothing feels frustrating. You had Gamma's campaign, which is emotional. You have a story that's a little bit, you know, sadder, has some good lore with the stuff like Chaos. I adore Station Square. I think Station Square to me is chef's kiss. Such a charming, cute little area. One thing I adored the most about revisiting Station Square was the little character stories, like how the more you go through the campaign, the characters in the town, their stories change as you go by. It's just so good, and the music is good, and everything. Sonic Adventure ended up being a game that I think is peak. I adore Sonic Adventure so much, really. Now that I've replayed, I got a lot more respect for it, and I don't know, I really love it. Like, I think it just ages super well, and I think for me it was one that I end up loving a lot more as I played it, you know. So Sonic Adventure, love that, very happy for it. For a first 3D outing, looking back, love that. We can end the list. Yeah, exactly. Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, a game I fight with in my mind all the time, because I think to this day, style-wise, Sonic Adventure 2 is everything I want for a Sonic game. Really, like, the vibe, there's a reason, like, movie 3, all the hype comes from being like Sonic Adventure 2, because I think the vibe of Adventure 2 is peak. Shadow, immaculate. The Sonic and Shadow levels, peak, right? The idea of, you know, the cast having all their playable sections and everything is fantastic, right? And I love so much about it. The music is awesome. I love so much about Sonic Adventure 2, and there's something about it that can't make me hate it. But I will say, this game can be very frustrating. You know, as much as I like Knuckles' levels, the Emerald finding can be frustrating. The game definitely suffers from that old game issue where sometimes the camera doesn't comply with you. Sometimes there's like cheap deaths. How is Gamma more fun to control and play than Tails in the Mech? You know, I feel like that was such a weird downgrade, right? But again, it's like there's so much. So I think the story of Sonic Adventure 2 is so much better, right? And I love everything they do with Shadow. I love everything they do with the Space Colony arc. I love the ambition, the world-ending style, how campy it can feel, how cheesy it can feel. It's like the style is so fucking good, man. Like I cannot say enough. Like City Escape, fantastic level. Even Pumpkin Hill as a vibe is so good. Yeah, Shadow only having 4 playable stages is like a crime. These Sonic and Shadow levels, I cannot stress, are like some of my favorite levels in the series. They're so good. All their levels to me are awesome. And then yeah, just like Rouge's levels can be frustrating. The Eggman Tails ones can be frustrating, but the Super Sonic, Super Shadow moment at the end is peak. So it's like this game fights with me so much because there are frustrating aspects about this game, but it has so much sauce. I'm thinking top of A because I don't really fuck with the Chow Guard. Not that I don't like it, but it's not, I don't know, man. I end up missing the best aspect of the game, which is the speed section. I think that's a flaw, right? So like when I'm playing the other levels, I'm like, I wish I was playing the speed levels, you know? I'm gonna put it top of A for now, and then I'm gonna think about it. All right, we're gonna put this like that for now. Now, Heroes. Oh, Sonic Heroes. Oh, Sonic Heroes, man. You piece of shit game, bro. I gave this game, you know what's crazy about Sonic Heroes, right, is I want to like this game so much. I really do. Because when I replayed it recently for the Shadow story, and I played it with Sonic story, I do think visual design and aesthetic, and even the idea of the teamwork is just so good. You know, it's so good, right? I cannot stand playing this game, bro. It's so fucking slippery. Some of the levels drag on for fucking ever. You know, like they just drag on for ages, you know? And like there's so much bullshit where you just die, and then when you run out of lives, you restart the longest levels known to man, and you die by so much dumb shit, and the bosses can be so frustrating and janky, and Team Chaotix missions are ass, and Team Dark's fucking difficulty spike is so frustrating. The Chaos Emerald levels are ass, and the dude, the casino level, half the time the pinball doesn't work. Like the bosses are awful. Everything about the game like has so much jank, and it bothers me so much. You know, it's so tedious. I want to love it so much because, like I said, I love the idea of the 3 playable characters. I love the fly abilities, the power. I love leveling up and everything. It's so good, man. You know, but it's like, I'm going to put it in meh. I'm going to put it in meh. But I'm not putting it in I. No, it bothers me way too much to put it in I. I'm not letting it go. But the Egg Fleet level is lit. Like, there's things I really like about it, but just too much jank. Now, Shadow the Hedgehog. Yes, sir. All right. Shadow is a B for me. I thought Shadow was good. I had a good time playing Shadow the Hedgehog. Is the story a little stupid and ridiculous? Absolutely. Are the levels themselves fun? Absolutely. You know, I feel like if you play Shadow in a way that is not making you do the frustrating levels, it's fun. I have a great time with it. The music is dope. I like the bosses in it. I think Shadow's story is really cool. I like the characters that follow you around in the levels and talk to you. It's cool, man. I had fun with it, to be honest with you, right? And the problem is we do all the levels to get the ending. I agree. I do think getting 10 endings to get the true ending is not good. To be fair, I think that's why everyone's opinion on this game is different. Because there's some people that play it through once and like, okay, I liked it. Some people played it through 3 times and liked it. Some people played it through 10 times and despise it, rightfully so. I think the difference is like, even on a regular playthrough of Heroes, I am miserable in a lot of ways. Like in Sonic Heroes, if I just played Sonic's campaign, I'm still pissed about cheap deaths and stuff half the time. Whereas like if I play Shadow casually, I'm fine. If I play the game without doing the things that drive me crazy, I'm fine. For me, it was good. Now, guys, Sonic 06, looking back, it's aight. It's aight for me. And I'll tell you why, right? This game is, how do I explain it? For me, what bothers me about this game is that, wow, I play the main levels and I'm like, oh shit, this is lit. Like, I think that the main levels are good, right? But you have obviously the jank, and obviously I know it fucked up the franchise for sure. Yeah, like to this day dealing with this, I think the story is completely whatever. But dude, I ended up having, dude, I don't know what it is. I had way more fun on Silver's campaign than I had any right to for some reason. Like, genuinely, I had a good time with that. And the mainline levels are fun. I think the open world obviously is a little ass, but the mainline levels for me are pretty solid. I mean, I enjoy Crisis City. The Sonic levels are really good. Like, I feel like the game is bogged down by like some janky animations, but it's not like the game is like slowing down or you're falling through the floor half the time. Like, I feel like at that time you could play the levels, you know? I don't know. It's like I had a night time with it, you know? It's just not awful for a game that has had so many trials and has been hated. And a lot of people like it. Even, I mean, obviously I find the NPCs are funny at this point. I had laughs, you know? At this point I was laughing at some of the silly, stupid missions you do in the town. I don't know. For me, Sonic 06, 100% understandably a game that did damage, but for someone who replayed, I thought it was I. And, you know, Project 06 obviously proves the game can be peak. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but obviously, I think it's I over time. Next one, Sonic and the Secret Rings, trash. I think for me, this game is trash. I don't have anything nice to say about this game. I really don't. Except for like the cutscenes. Besides the cutscenes, I don't like this game. I tried, bro. It fucking hurts my hands. I think the mission structure is annoying. I think it's a game that actively tries to kill you. Like, quite literally, I think the game is trying to kill you. And I don't care what anybody says about the upgrades. Yeah, okay. Why are the upgrades? Like, it's almost like the game plays like dog shit. And then the upgrades make it so that, like, all right, it's tolerable now. Yay. You know, like, if the game started with that moveset, I'd be like, okay, there's something here, right? But oh my god, dude, oh my god, it's just I don't like this game at all, right? 7, I don't even like the music. I understand why some people would like it. There's some songs in there that bang, but every song is like, let's repeat the lyric, let's repeat the lyric, let's repeat the lyric, I'm like, stop. I don't care. This is a game, it's not for me. And as an Arab, as a fellow Arabian individual, right, I fuck with the story. I fuck with Sonic's personality heavy. I jump into a lot of Sonic games randomly on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a weekend, on stream. Sonic and the Secret Rings is not one of those games. You know, I don't like Sonic and the Secret Rings, which again, it bothers me because on paper, fire. There are so many cool locations, but I mean, the biggest problem in the game, I can't stand playing it. Like, I genuinely don't like playing it at all. And I think if a game actively tries to fuck up your wrists and kill you, it's a problem. But again, even a Sonic game, to be honest, being trash, still has sauce. Sonic and the Secret Rings, I've tried, but I just don't fuck with you heavy, man. Sonic Unleashed. Let me tell you about Sonic Unleashed, man. This time around, I ended up liking the Werehog stages so much more. Like, genuinely, that was my biggest thing, is I came out of this a massive fan of the Werehog. Actually, and I think it was thanks to you guys. You all in chat, like, telling me, like, yo, you could use these combos to do something cool. The boosts, obviously, the daytime levels are some of the best in the series by far. I think they're still the best, to be fair. I still think the daytime levels in Unleashed are still the best. The combo system with the Werehog is actually super good. I ended up loving this so much more, and I played the DLC, and the DLC drove me crazy. But again, I'm not gonna... It's not like the DLC was like a story DLC that I felt like I had to. They were challenge mode DLCs. So if they drove me a little crazy, I can live with that, right? But genuinely, Unleashed, I think from music incredible, to the level design for the day stages, to the night levels, I think was phenomenal, man. Genuinely phenomenal. I do think final boss is a little more lackluster than I would have liked looking back at it. And it's kind of lame that a lot of the main Sonic bosses are just, you know, fucking Sonic dash, move 3 lanes. Literally, this game, if they made the Werehog faster, right? If they made the Werehog faster, lowered the metal requirements, It has, dude, this game has so much extra side content, genuinely. But I don't know, man. This game is phenomenal in so many ways. Now, do I like it more than Adventure? And another flaw I had with this game that I talked about when I reviewed it, I think the story, I know a lot of people like to say it's cool, but I wish they explored the fact that it was a world adventure. Because, like, oftentimes it's just you go to another area, and I wish they had, you know, those little shorts that were on YouTube? I wish, like, they would have shown those in game, like Sonic and the gang, like talking to the characters, you know, exploring the culture of each level they were in. Like, it's not as many cutscenes as you think. There's definitely some frustrations with the game, but this frustration, I think every Sonic game has frustrations, to be frankly honest with you. And so for me, would I go back? I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say I liked Sonic Unleashed more than Sonic Adventure. I think those boost levels are still pretty phenomenal. Replay value is phenomenal. Music is incredible, 10 out of 10. Great time, man. I loved it so much. Really, I really did. And if they remastered this game with some fixes, it could be peak. I even like the tornado levels. You know, am I the only one? And like I said, the ending could have been cooler, but cinematic-wise, production-wise, everything about this game feels peak, from the intro to the outro. Feels like when you beat this game, you went through a journey. And that's like the best compliment I can give it, genuinely. So I really loved Sonic Unleashed, which is a big thing because I didn't think it was that peak when I first played it. Now, Unwiished, I'll put in good. It was good. It's not a bad game. I do like the mechanic where you have a limited amount of boosts. And I do like that the Werehog levels are kind of, you know, split into segments. But in some ways, it makes them feel longer. But I do think the bosses are better. And I think the final boss of Unleashed is better, right? So I think it's still good. It is still good. It's a different enough version of it that you can play it on its own. The metal system is way better too. Yeah, so I think while it doesn't hit the highs of base, you know, it's funny because I grew up with the Wii version of Unleashed. So I don't think it hits the highs of base Unleashed in terms of like main level design. I think it's below Shadow. Yeah, because at least Shadow has like a unique factor to it. Whereas I feel like Unleashed is like, all right, am I ever going to go back and play Unleashed on its own? No. I played as a fun extra. That's really it. My next game, Sonic and the Black Knight. Ooh. Hey, I think this game is fire. I fuck with this game so much. I don't know, man. This isn't a game where, I don't know what it is, bro. We played this on stream. I was loving my time with it. Writing is peak, right? The only flaw with this game is it's spammy. That's really all I don't like about the game, is it's spammy. Besides that, you finally have control of Sonic as opposed to Secret Rings, right? Sonic with a sword is fire. Story is fire. Level aesthetics are lit, okay? Just, I love so much about this game. I even like doing the side missions, whether it's playing with I played it with the Wii remote, whether it's playing, you know, on a controller with just mashing A, like the night fight is raw. I don't know, like learning the game was even sick to me, like doing the timed slashes. I don't know, man. I love this game so much. The music is dope. The gameplay is dope. Aesthetic is dope. I love so much about this game. And Sonic is the most sauciest he ever was in this story. The boss fights are really cool. I love the rival fights, even though there's the rematch one that fucking broke my brain. It's a game that you either, I think there's no in between with this game. I really do think you either love it or hate it, because it still feels like, you know, one of those Wii games where it's motion. And if you don't like motion and it frustrates you, you're going to have a problem with it. But I just liked having more agency of Sonic. I liked doing cool combos with the sword that looked lit. I liked fighting dragons. I liked fighting, you know, the cast rival battles. It's got so much sauce and it's fun. So for me, like, I think it's fire. Genuinely, I had a great time with it, man. Crush 40 was used beautifully in it. I love it, man. Love it. You know. All right, next one, Sonic Colors, a game that I feel like before I was making Sonic content on YouTube and I just kind of like enjoyed the series and I wasn't like as insane. It used to be my favorite in the series. By far used to be my favorite. But now looking back, you know, a lot more 2D levels than I remember, shorter levels than I remember, and aesthetically still fantastic. I still love the aesthetics of this game, but I think when it comes to Sonic Colors, it's going to be in A. I think it's fire. But I'm not going to lie. I think I like Black Knight a bit more than Colors. I think so. I think looking back, I think it's aesthetically peak, right? And I think what I've always said about Sonic Colors that's really good is that Sonic Colors is one of the only Sonic games where nothing is frustrating. You know, like it's a game you just play start to finish. There isn't, here's the shitty gimmick I gotta do, here's the awful mechanic, here's the bad level. Like, it is a game that is like, just you play it start to finish and you're good. It's a vibe. The levels are fun. Aquarium Park is good. Like, yeah, some of the bosses are kind of lame for sure, but I've never played a frustrating Wisp. You know, I think all the Wisps are pretty fun. The only level I get that could be annoying was Planet Wisp, but I like the Wisp. I like going back to levels with different Wisps, and it adds replay value. I think there's such a good vibe to Sonic Colors. There's a reason why it's a game that is so emotional for a lot of people. I still love Reach for the Stars, my favorite thing, but it is a game that, looking back at, it removed a lot of Sonic sauce. You know, especially after Sonic Unleashed and Sonic and the Black Knight, it feels like a lot of Sonic sauce is gone. No super fight at the end, which is hella disappointing. The 3-lane repetitive bosses are super disappointing. A lot more 2D levels than I would have thought, super disappointing. And, you know, honestly, more I think about it, I'd probably put it in top of good. And the story isn't good. Yeah, I think the more I think about it is, it's a really good game. Like, I think Sonic is a really good one. It's also a game that I think I will always go back to, though. I think it has some of the fun replay value in this series. I think it's a game that I like replaying. So really happy with Sonic Colors overall, man. It's a game that I think ages really well, and it's fun to play, bro. And I know people love Sonic Colors DS. I got to play that at some point. But yeah, so Sonic Colors, really good game. I loved my time with it. Sonic Generations used to be my favorite. But I think now, looking back, Sonic Generations, right here, under Sonic Adventure, but it's over here, and I think Unleashed beats it. And I think the reason why is the 3D levels in that game are phenomenal, man. And I agree. I think it's genuinely closest thing we can get to a perfect Sonic game. It's obviously a little shorter than I would have liked. I think the final boss is ass, like a lot of us know, and I think some of the bosses can be a little frustrating. But as a celebration of the series, and I think Shadow Generations, you all know, I think is gonna put this game all the way up for sure. There's no story. It's laughable almost how they handled the story in there. The side missions are kind of cool, but they're not even like, okay, let me just do this chore, right? I have a chore to do. And so they're not really great. They're hit or miss. And so I think with the fact that 2D Sonic levels aren't ones you really look back at too fondly, the fact that modern Sonic levels are all fucking awesome to play, genuinely fun. Sonic Gens is, like we all said, the closest we have to a perfect Sonic game. Really, we really do, man. I genuinely believe that from my heart of hearts. It's so good, man. It's so fun. Overall, man, really fucking fantastic game, man. Some of the best, so like the most consistent fun in the series. And again, the 2D levels, while they're not like peak, they're fun. I do like the levels, but I don't know. I never sit there and go like, I want to replay the 2D level here. I play them and they're fun, but I never sit there and be like, oh, I need to replay that. I get my S rank and I did, but the modern 2D Sonic, the modern 3D Sonic levels in that game are some of the most replayable levels I've ever had in the series. I always go back to them, always just to play them for fun, try to see how fast I can go through them and everything. So yeah, love that a lot. Now, Sonic Lost World. The definition of meh. You being able to play through Lost World really helped me get me to why I dislike it. It just embodies everything I don't want Sonic to be in gameplay, tone, story, or OST, aesthetic. It feels passionless, but the mistakes paved the way into lessons for continuity. Yeah, no, like I agree with that. Maybe that's why I would put Heroes a little bit above it. It's because, let me tell you the difference, right? A Heroes remake would make Heroes probably top 3 games in the series, by far. I think a Heroes remake would make it top 3 Sonic games by far, easily. Whereas Lost World, there is nothing at all that I ever want to see in Sonic ever again from Lost World, really, except the parkour. That's it. I think that's the biggest thing. Besides the parkour, there's nothing else I want from that game. I don't want the Deadly Six ever. I don't want that kind of story. I don't want that kind of level aesthetic. Like, there's nothing about that game I want to see in the series. It is like, it's more offensive because Sonic is a series all about style and how cool it can be, and Lost World strips all of that away, bro. Like, it really does, man. Like, imagine Sonic Frontiers, like, you know how people complain about those locations? I'm sorry, man, if Sonic Frontiers like had like the visual aesthetic of Lost World, I'd be like, I don't fucking like this, bro. I just don't. You know, I don't like how it looks. I think the Deadly Six are awful. I think the 2D level segments in Lost World are lame. Like the stealth stuff you have to do, the tornado stuff, the auto scrolls. I don't know. Like, it tries so many gimmicks, and it's just I don't like it, man. At least Heroes, it's a consistent thing. It's like a long 3D level, but it's like what Sonic can be. Whereas Lost World is like, eh. Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, trash. Garbage game. Absolutely. This game is ass. We sat down one session, played through the whole game. It's just fucking whatever, bro. It's not even a Sonic. I don't even need to talk about it. It's not even a Sonic game. At least Secret Rings has style. Exactly. So it's a platformer. Yeah, I guess so. That's all I give it, right? That's all I give it. Sonic Forces. I'm trying to think for myself here. Sonic Forces, upon really replaying it, yeah, I think Forces looking back is like, I think it's like bottom of meh. I think so. I think to me, Forces does more damage than Lost World. And let me tell you why. Because Forces, like, it's like you're offending me. It's like, I don't know. Forces is like, damn, bro, I'm used to eating this incredible pizza, right? And this pizza is stale, and it tasted like ass. I feel like Forces is insulting. I think Forces insulted me. Every time a level is about to start, it ends, bro. Right? It feels like the story, I feel like, is laughable. At least in Lost World, I'm like, okay, you guys are doing a silly spin-off. Forces' story, to me, offends me more because it's like, the way I describe Forces' story is it's like when Fairly Odd Parents likes to do that plot where the world is ending. It's like, I can't take that seriously. You know, it's like you're making fun of this. Because Sonic World and Universe has trials and tribulations. And this game makes like a joke out of it. You know? The rep that it ruined for both fans and casuals. It's just, yeah, like it everything about this game. I don't like the OC. The 2D levels are whatever. The 3D levels, like, they're not. Oh, I mean, they just happen and then they end. You know, it's they don't tell, they show. Yeah, it's like they tell, they don't show. Like, yeah, you're telling me the world's ending. Yeah, in a cutscene you tell me this happened, but I don't get to experience it, any of it. And like, I could not believe how short the game is. It's like actually offensive how short the game is. Like how the level, like, dude. The fact there are levels I genuinely was able to hold boosts and jump, I'm like, this is bad, man. This is bad. Fan mods that try to fix it, you know, they do their best, but they're still like that. Also, the physics of the engine are bleh. Side discussion was ruined after Forces. That's true. Even the physics are so bleh. It's just an incomplete, soulless game. I don't like it at all. I don't like Forces at all, but it's not trash because, again, like, it's still playable from start to finish. So yeah, that's what Forces is. Now, the finale for now. Sonic Frontiers, my beloved, my baby boy, my goat, you know, my beautiful icon. It is an S. It is an S tier for me, for sure. And I really, I have thought about this in my mind for a week since we've gotten to this, right? Where is this game going? Right? Was Unleashed better for me? Was Adventure? No. Okay. I like it more than Generations. I don't even. Oh, fuck. Damn it. This game is the most interesting in the series by far. It's open zone. It gave us a new formula, right? And I think we obviously owe a shit ton to it. I have a personal love for the game because it was like the first major Sonic game I was able to cover. It's a game that, oh fuck, man. It is so weird because the game has jank, right? The game has jank, but there is something so addicting about it. Like, there are times where I just open the game and run around the open zone, right? There are times I just run in and do cyberspace. There's times I run in and just fight the Titans, you know? And looking back at the DLC, I even enjoy playing as the other characters again, you know? And now that they fixed it. And even, you know, there's so much more to do on the islands now with the action challenges, with the birthday challenges if you want some more challenges. But again, there is jank, right? It's like, it's a playground, but sometimes it's janky, right? Like, Chaos Island can be annoying to navigate, right? No matter how you spit it. Ares Island can be annoying to navigate sometimes. Some of the bosses on Ares can be like a little annoying, but this game screams passion, right? From how fun it is to run around as Sonic, how fun it is to, you know, use the spin dash, from the combat feeling the most cool it's ever been, is sick. And I know, again, if you really look at the combat, you can just spam one move and dodge the entire time. I understand that, but it's stylish though. Like, I feel like you want to do stylish shit, and I think its highs are by far the highest highs of highs in this world. Genuinely, I think the highest highs by a million miles in this thing. That's the thing about the game, is like the Titan fights had a reaction out of me that not a single Sonic game on this list has. First time I fought Giganto, even every time I go fight it. Frontier is more than just a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Frontier is the future of Sonic, and I'm here for it. Flawed in spots, strange in spots, but crafted with so much care and passion for this series, the most you've seen for this series in a long time. On top of that, I feel like the game stands on its own 2 feet extremely well. If they don't quite reach the stars, I adore this game. Yeah, it's like, with this game, I agree with you. This game is everything I want for a future Sonic game if it's perfected. You know, the idea of having this open zone where you can actually feel like Sonic's, you know, speed is there is awesome. Running around, doing spins around the world. But if they have more unique locations, right, as well as even better platforming challenges, more challenging ones, it's awesome. And I love the idea of cyberspace, even if obviously, you know, some of those levels are replayed, redone, or however they do it. It's funny, looking back at this list, every single Sonic game has flaws. I think that's something I've learned upon replaying, doing this revisit. All of these games have flaws. I wouldn't say these games, even the games in peak, they're not perfect, they're peak. I know Realistic Frontier is like a 7 or 8 out of 10, but Frontier is always going to be an S tier for me, and let me say why. The new formula is great for Start of the Future. Finally got a story that took itself more seriously. Sonic and the gang finally have more personality and better writing. Boss fights and the music for them are some of the coolest in this series, and a lot more. I know Frontier has a problem, but everything... I know. That's the thing, is like, I feel like Frontiers gives me everything I fucking want from this series, man, genuinely. I think for me, personally, with everything, you know, I've had with this game, how I feel with it, replaying it with you guys, jumping in it, like you guys see on both consoles, I have like a shit ton of hours in it. I think for me, I'm going to put Sonic Frontiers all the way up for me. I think if we did a list of all mainline Sonic games, I think Mania would still be number 1. But I think for me, Frontiers is a game that hits me a lot. You know, it's a game that I feel like respects me as a fan. It gave me a ton of content. Even though the boss rush challenge, you know, drove me crazy, doing an S ranking it was awesome. The cyberspace challenges, you know, forcing me to really learn it was awesome. The spin dash alone, and I know you could argue like it breaks the level design in a lot of ways, still super fun, right? And I think even if anything, spin dash kind of opened up what the game could be. And I know this game, I guess for me, Sonic Frontiers, it's everything I want from the series ever. Like, everything about this game is what I want from the series. Whereas Unleash, I don't know if I want to see the Werehog again. What I wanted from Unleash is like Sonic with cool moves. And I feel like Sonic here is what I wanted from Unleash, which is like Sonic being able to do cool shit that fits that character. And Sonic feels raw in this game. And I haven't even touched the story yet. For me, the story of the game, I love it. I do think, obviously, upon replaying it, it's a story that, because it's more somber in tone, it doesn't really encourage you to want to do the side conversations again. But that's the nature of open world games in general. Like, this game has the open world problem that a lot of games have, which is like replaying an open world game is inherently a little less exciting because you're going around doing the same things. But it's a platformer. And that's what I'm excited. This, to me, what I adore about this game is like it's an open world platformer, bro. Like that's the dream. Those games are all about the movement and control. And if the movement and control is fun, then that's what matters to me, bro. Like I just love flying around, bro. I love doing, you know, like I love doing silos. I like fighting enemies around. I like, you know, going all the way to different platforming challenges. Like everything it has is something I want from the series, genuinely. Me personally, I think Shadow Gens is gonna blow Frontiers out the water for me because I think everything I want out of the franchise. I agree with you. Shadow Gens might take the cake for best game because it'll have base generations and whatever the hell Shadow Gens is gonna do. And I'm very, very, very curious how it does. You know, because this Shadow Gens looks like it's gonna be what we want Frontiers to be, which is like we're gonna have an open zone. It doesn't look like there's any jank whatsoever. It has controlled boss fights. I don't know, man. They're cooking with that. I think that's going to be... Shadow Gens is going to tell us a lot about where Sonic Team is going with the future. You know what I mean? But everything Sonic Frontiers does, the open zone, the music, by the way, is some of my favorite in the series by far. The Titan themes, life-changing for me. The island movements are just beautiful. I don't know, man. And like I said, I think looking back at all these games, that was the big lesson I learned, right? Is that none of these games are perfect. Like I said, with Unleashed, Metal Hunting's annoying. Hedgehog can't be perfect. With Adventure, right? Some campaigns shorter than others, or, you know, big fishing. With Generation, some of the side stuff isn't the best. Some classic Sonic levels aren't the best. Adventure has some frustrating levels. Black Knight, some frustrations. Like, all of these games have some issues, but at the core, the ones that stand out the most to me are the ones that emphasize Sonic's style so much, you know? And I think Sonic Unleashed emphasized Sonic's style through the level design of the daytime and even the nighttime stages with none of the QTEs in there. I think Frontiers is the ultimate respect of how cool Sonic could be. I think Adventure is also a respect of how Sonic and friends can be written and grow up and how cool they could be. Gens, in terms of how the modern Sonic levels are how cool a level can be in there. Adventure is the ultimate sauce for sure for this series, absolutely by far. That's my ranking of the 3D Sonic games. So it goes bottom, absolute bottom, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, and then Sonic and the Secret Rings, followed by Forces, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Heroes, Sonic the Hedgehog 06. Then it goes Sonic Unleashed on the Wii, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Colors, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Gens, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Frontiers. And thus, Sonic 3D Revisited comes to a close. Love that, love that, love that. Also, what did Typhon tweet? No turning back on this one wager. You want to make something so it gives you face your Sonic Revisit. Such a cool way to look at back one of my favorite friends. Ah, I love that. Love that, love that, love that. Look at that. Yes, sir. Defeating the end. Amazing. How the final boss from the Shadow campaign is Shadow Gens will be the Titan level boss. I hope so too. Yeah, no, and obviously, like, thank you to you guys, you know, during these 3D Revisit things. Obviously, like, we're gonna replay fucking Sonic games for the rest of our lives on this channel. But I really did love revisiting these games and having you guys, you know, react with me, help me in some cases, yell at me in some cases. And it was just so much fun. I had such a blast, like really, because we jump into these games all the time randomly on streams, but going through them start to finish on different weeks and stuff and dealing with their craziness and good times and everything. I love ambition and passion, and I can tell the games on the top here have that. And I really do love that a lot.